There's a saying in Africa, it takes a village to raise a child. Likewise in your business, you are not the only one that can grow that business. You need help. You need people. You need me and my team to support you. You really do need people to help you actualize that vision that you want for your business. Now you might want to know how I discovered who I am. I had to go inside of me. What do I mean by that? I had to declutter and unclutter my mind. I had to unlearn what I thought I knew about myself. I had to ask both friends and family and colleagues and even staff to let me know what their perception of me is. I did an evaluation with my employees and I promised them I wouldn't fire them so they would tell me the truth about what they saw in me as a leader and what areas of improvement they would want to see in a leader, in their CEO, and as a culture in our business. Once I was able to do that, I looked at my professional capability. How skilled am I to run this business? What do I know and what don't I know? Now, answering the question of what you know and what you don't know in your business, it's clear. Get a paper, write down what skills do you have? What skills do you need in your business? Look at both and then ask yourself, what skill don't I have from what I need to grow my business? That's from there you'll start knowing what you need to improve on and who you really are. And then you talk about your values. Now, when you're setting up a business, your value defines the culture of a business. Sometimes people say that when I see a business and the things that the business agrees to, that would show me who the leadership is. So if your business is toxic, I would clearly tell you that you have a toxic leadership because they condone such an environment. I have worked in a toxic environment before. It was so toxic that I started breaking out. I started developing allergies. I love eating prawns. Imagine not being able to eat them again because one day I ate prawns and I just started developing allergies all over my face. My face started swelling up because I ate prawns and I had to rush to a pharmacy to get medication for the allergy for it to come down. Now, what has allergies, what has eating prawn got to do with a toxic environment? A whole lot. It raises your stress level. It makes you unhappy. I mean, I would get to the office and I'm so shattered. I don't even know how to put it. I don't know the words to use to explain how I felt. I would go into the office and I would just want to turn right back and leave because the environment was so toxic. I started doubting myself. I would write something and I would share it with 3, 4, 5 colleagues just for them to validate what I had written because I lost my self-confidence. That's what toxicity does to you. Now you have 2 choices. First is to stay if you don't have any other option. But I believe that people always have choices. It's not always, see, let me tell you, sometimes you feel you don't have a choice, that there's nothing better out there. That's not true. It's your mind and your fears that are holding you down, rooted to the spot. The minute you make up your mind, you find that courage to leave, you would see that the world out there is even more beautiful. Staying in a toxic environment, a toxic relationship, whatever it is, wherever it is that you found yourself that is not at peace, it's a horrible thing that you can do to yourself as an individual or as a human being. If you want to stay in a toxic environment, you must do these 2 things. First is to separate yourself from the words that are being said to you. Develop a thick skin and know that words don't mean anything. Words do mean something. However, such words that are sharpened and used as a weapon to bring you down don't mean anything to you. My daughters would come back and tell me, Mom, I was told I'm stupid. The first thing I would ask them would be, what's your name? And they would tell me their names. And I'll be like, are you stupid? They will start laughing. They'll say, no, mom, I'm not stupid. I am Muna. I said, of course, you are not stupid. That's not your name. So why are you taking offense? Why are you letting it? Why are you giving away your power? That's what it is. You're giving away your power. And realize that toxic people are really unhappy people. A toxic environment is just an environment filled with unhappy people. So how can you bring happiness to that environment? How can you be the change in that environment if you decide to stay? Develop a thick skin, bring happiness into the environment, find a way to find joy in where you are and what you're doing. But I tell you, there's always something else, something bigger, something better waiting for you.
Startup Doctor.
So if you have a business that their culture is that of warmth, welcoming people, new people, making them feel comfortable, a business where the culture does not judge mistakes, but uses mistakes as a learning curve for your employees, I will tell you that you have growth-minded business leaders in your business. Why? Because every mistake an employee makes is an opportunity to teach them so they can get better. It's not an opportunity to berate them and make them feel less of themselves, right? So I had to go through this evaluating process to understand the sort of business that I wanted to mirror who I am in, the sort of business I wanted to see. And I realized I was the sort of person that did not like a toxic environment. So when you walk into any of my businesses, you would not find one toxic bone, one toxic strain in any of my businesses. And my staff are okay. They are happy to make mistakes because they know that's where they can learn. That's an opportunity for them to have me in their faces, telling them what they have done right or what they have done wrong. So first, evaluate yourself. Evaluate your skill for you to find out who you are. Evaluate your skill, your professional skill. Evaluate your values. What are your values? Who will people say you are? What do you tolerate? What do you condone? What would you like? How would you like to be treated? Because all of these things are mirrored in your business. It's like cloning a child, not cloning like the scientific cloning, but cloning your personality, your habits in a child. The other day, I was making my daughter's hair, and when I was done, fast forward 1 week later, my little 2-year-old son pulled my daughter to that exact spot where I sat, made her sit on the floor, and he went and sat on the chair behind her, and he started using an imaginary comb to make her hair. Yes, children are a mirror of us. Likewise, your organization is a mirror of your values, of your ethics, of your standards, of everything that is you. So you need to be careful how you come off in your office, how your people see you. If you're a toxic person at home, I promise you're going to be a toxic person in the office. You cannot run away from it. So it's all a part of it. So if you don't like what you see around you, start looking inside of you. It starts from inside. Change who you are so that you can change and influence the environment around you positively. To recap, the 3 steps I took to find out who I am. First was to evaluate my professional skill. Second was to evaluate my values, what I hold there, what I would want to see, what I don't want to see, and then to evaluate my behavior and my habits. So are you going to do this today? Are you going to ask yourself the question, who are you? That is what I want you to go home with today. Answer that question and then come back on the next episode. Let's tackle what you need to do first.